500,000 people could lose their jobs depending on how the trade war goes. It's like, that's huge.
Trauma is internalized and then becomes part of your DNA.
We're leaving this country. It's over.
And a decision like that should not be made solely based on emotion.
What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show. Sorry for the technical challenges this morning. Started a little bit late. There was a little bit of a communication breakdown in the back room, but we got it going now, and sorry about doing that intro twice, but we are here. So as always, it's the morning vibe on the last day in June 2025. And it's great to have you here. As always, I still am and still have produce and co-host over 6,000 online shows. I am also the co-host and co-producer of the only online show for dads, fathers, and male caregivers that is sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that team, we've reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. As always, I like to say, you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And we are getting summer in Toronto. Finally. We are getting summer in Toronto. It is absolutely a wonderful time of year in Toronto, and we're looking forward to it. And we're supposed to be getting some more heat. So what did everyone do during their weekend? I know there's some people here already. What are you doing this week? Or what did you do for your weekend? More importantly, want to know what happened during the weekend. Would really like to know and check out myself. Let's go in reverse order. Yes, I did 2 epic conversations. One of them was about Black couples living, loving, and working together. Had Fatima and Ron Gould on, and it was great. Fatima is a facilitator, educator, book writer, etc. And our other half, Ron, is a music producer. And the stories that came out of that, like they got married after not seeing each other for 25 years. After 25 years. And they knew each other from public school. I won't get too much into the story, but it was a great conversation. Had a great time listening to them. And we're going to be doing a part 2 weeks from yesterday, because there's still a whole bunch of stuff that we didn't get done. And, you know, if you're used to seeing some things, just be patient with us. As the show goes on, we'll get things set up for you in regards to the way we like to have the show look and the way you like the show to look. All right? Is that fair? Is that fair? And then Saturday afternoon, late afternoon, early evening Eastern time, Aisha and Lala rocked the house. They were at next level. They went for over 2 hours on primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala. They covered so much of the sense and nonsense that's going on in America, especially political wise. It was just a huge epic conversation. So that's a little bit. Then yesterday went out, had some relatives in town from Montreal. Couple have 2 girls. One of the girls came to Toronto to watch a K-pop concert. And it's really interesting. And maybe as our special friends coming up, the phenomenon of people traveling, taking their kids over long distances to concerts. Didn't experience that in my time. Did not experience that in my time. It was really interesting, but we went to a really nice restaurant, was on a rooftop, and it was a rooftop restaurant, but they had a covering that would slide over so you weren't in direct sunlight. It was so cool. Enjoyed it so much. But what we're going to do is, we got comments. Good morning, Minnie St. Clair. How are you doing? Good to have you in the house. Actually, I was in a conversation with someone over the last week and saying, where's Minnie St. Clair these days? I said, she's doing her thing, but hopefully she'll be back. So there's some people asking about you, Minnie St. Clair. Hope you're doing well and hope you're keeping good in the summertime. I think I've rambled enough for this morning. We're going to go on a break and we're going to come back, and we have a, a friend coming back and joining with us. She makes herself available, which is always great. And announcing something a little bit new for the morning vibe. Well, it's sort of new, but it's also, we're going to get a lot of audience engagement going on today. I want to find out, asking you guys questions, and you contribute to the program. And Minnie, we'll get back to your other message and after we come back from the break. So we'll be back in about 30 seconds. So we'll see you in 30 seconds. Crossing my fingers. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here. These are two ladies. They're not all over the place. They're forward and they're straight shooters.
I got to stand in front.
No wonder people don't understand what the Democrats have been doing. That man lied 36,000 times, and we know this because you all counted it.
This is part of the story that a lot of news outlets are not talking about. Primetime Saturday we're having lots of fun today. Primetime Saturday with Aisha and Lala. Saturday afternoons. So new promo for them. So it's absolutely fantastic. And let's get to some housework. So subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. And we're getting, are we past 1,840? I think we're getting there. We're getting there. And if not, we're wanting to get to 1,850 subscribers. And then we've got liking the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Join the Morning Vibe. Join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Please email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com, or click on the link that you see on the screen, and I'll be screen. I'm with the logistic queen, so we're going to be bringing up in a minute. So I got to make my pronunciation correct. So also, to advertise your business, service, or product on our show, please email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. I usually say one more thing, but you know what? We're just going to bring her up. Well, no, we're not going to bring her up. I'm going to tell you, we're starting a new segment on not every Monday, but on some Mondays, we're going to be doing something on the Morning Vibe called Mix It Up Monday. And when we do Mix It Up Mondays, periodically, we're inviting you to take center stage, and it's your chance to shape the conversation, bring your questions, share your thoughts, suggest new topics, or simply vibe with the community. So whether you want to discuss what's on your mind, seek advice, so I like to say seek suggestions, or offer ideas to make the show even better, Mix It Up Monday is all about open, relaxed, lively dialogue. Connect, engage, and energize your Monday mornings with real talk and positive vibes, because the best conversations happen when we mix it up together. So the first friend we're going to have on our Mix It Up Monday is the one and only Dr. Tachi. He's in the house. What's going on?
Good morning, Dr. Vibe and people, friends.
Well, I appreciate your patience. And you know what? What a great title, Mix It Up. We've had a little bit of a mix-up of all over the places technically today. So a Mix-Up Monday makes sense.
It is what it is. These things happen when you're going live. There's no such thing as perfect in broadcasting. So it's good that the thing is the ability to roll with it. Once it happens, you just let it go. So it's good.
100%. I'd also want to put Minnie's message up. She's saying, yes, and things went well with my presentation with that big charity, and they loved it. Well, wow. So is there going to be a repeat performance? Okay. All right. Well, that's great news. And that's part of Mix It Up Monday. Just share. All right. So we're going to do two things. First of all, I'm going to say Indie Soup TV, which Dr. Tachi powers. You can find it on YouTube. There's the link, and also there's the website. And then there's contact information for Dr. Tachi. So she's on Instagram. She's on Facebook. She's on X. Well, I don't know how much she's on X these days. I don't think
I
you're on.
know I deleted my X account.
Okay, so we're gonna
So
have
I blue sky.
we're gonna we're gonna update that, and then the
Yeah.
LinkedIn. So yeah, and then we've also put another. We got more stuff here. The Indie Soup Media channel with the website, Instagram. So she's everywhere except X. Everywhere except X. So what's been going on in your world?
Oh, well, so you were talking about weekend, and again, good morning, everyone. I had a fantastic weekend. There was a class that I did. So I'm part of the
Yes.
Well Williams Fundable Founders cohort. And we are now, this week is week 9. We have one more week left, and we've gotten so much value. Well, he did a Gamal Codner, who is Jamaican. Gamal Codner. Do you know
Okay.
Gamal?
No, I don't.
Oh,
Sorry to
okay,
disappoint
not
you.
no, not that all Jamaicans know each other, but the way you
Okay,
said
yeah.
it, I'm like, oh. But he is Jamaican and very proud Jamaican, but he was the founder of a beard care line. He and his brother. They sold it for like all this money, and he's a great business coach. Well, he is one of our coaches in the program, him and Dominic Artis, who founded Act House. So we've gotten so much game from him. So anyway, Gamal did a surprise pop-up class for people who were interested in acquisitions.
Nice.
My mind. I never knew all of this. The thing is, lots of people always think, okay, I'm going to start a business. I started from scratch. And that's not always the way it has to be. You can acquire something, or if you've got a business and
Yes.
you see another business that would be useful within what you're doing, you can make an acquisition. And he talked about all these ways, because usually the thing that holds people back is funding, but he talked about all these creative ways to fund that. It was like 3 hours long, and it was amazing. So
Wow.
very happy. Yeah.
Now that's truly a masterclass.
It was. I was like, I even wrote we use school as our group to connect. And I wrote, the more I'm interacting with the people in this group, the more I actually realize I know nothing. So no, that was a great Saturday, definitely.
And what happened for the rest of the weekend?
Not a damn thing. I sat here.
Nothing.
That was my one event for the weekend.
One event.
Well, I did go and get a massage yesterday because I needed one.
Nice.
So yeah, that was good. Everything yesterday was relaxation, self-care, so.
Nice. A number of things. Well, okay, there's another comment here.
Oh,
Kevin says,
Kevin Williams?
Kevin says, good morning, Doctors Tachi and Vibe. Okay.
Good morning.
Okay.
I don't know which Kevin this is, but hey, Kevin, if it is Kevin Williams, let us know.
Well, I don't know. Then Minnie says, repeat, turn my presentation into social media content. I also pitched my, Minnie say, okay, turn my presentation into social media content. I also pitched my topic for disability poverty first symposium in December. Okay, if they deny my talk, that'll be my own live stream. Love that thought process. So if they say no, I'm going to put it out there anyways. I love that.
This reminds me of something. Let me write it down because I know.
Okay, write it down.
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
Oh, and you know what? Kevin says, it is I.
Yes! Kevin Williams is my good friend. my podcast partner, my TV bestie. We for a long time, and we still are working on bringing stuff back. We did a podcast called TV Channeling, and we now have a project that we're trying to get going called Pop Unfiltered. So, which reminds
Oh,
me, I've got to call you today, Kevin, because I have an idea. But yeah, I've known him since I met him through Anchor, and we've been
oh,
like
wow.
connected ever since. And every time we have a conversation, we're like, damn it, we should have been recording because this would have been a good, good conversation.
Wow. So
Yeah.
Kevin, we got to get you on the show one day.
Oh, wait, not that Kevin.
Oh, that's another Kevin.
There's another Kevin Williams.
I don't, this is why we're mixing up today. I don't know which Kevin it is. Like you, he said,
Oh,
not that. Okay.
okay. You were saying tis I in terms of Kevin. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay. Sorry. I went through a whole diatribe for nothing, but maybe not for nothing. It is what it is.
You see, no better way to do mix it up than mixing it up today. All right.
Listen.
Okay. Frequency Event Promotion says, good day, Dr. Vibe and Dr. Tachi. Okay, there is at least one
Hey.
here. And it goes, where's the Dragon Slayer? What do you mean by where's the Dragon Slayer Frequency Event Promotions? I don't know what you mean by that. Don't know what you mean.
He may be talking about Ryan.
But yeah, well, Ryan told me at the beginning of this month he needed to take some time off because he had some business things to take care of. And actually, thanks for reminding me. I have to reach out to him. He actually stepped in on Saturday's show. Yes, on Saturday's show he was watching. He had some comments.
Yes, I saw him. I saw him watching on Saturday. Yeah.
Okay. Now we're gonna go back to not that Kevin, and then Kevin said, "Yep, I'm still not sure which Kevin this is." I am not.
It's a Kevin who knows us. I guess that's all that matters. Welcome, Kevin.
Okay. All right. You know what? There is a story I want. Okay. Frequency of Air Promotion says, come on, Dr. Vibe. You know who I was referring to? No, I don't. Why do you think why did you make it say, well, Frequency of Air Promotion says, come on, Kevin, you know who I was referring to? No, I don't. I don't read minds. I'm not a psychologist. Sorry to disappoint you. Sorry.
Are you sure?
No.
You usually do such a good job.
No. Well, okay, if you say so. All right. So what I want to do is bring up. Okay, producer, I want to get Dr. Tachi's take on this because Dr. Tachi is involved in academia, and there's a story that came up that I found out about over the weekend that I'd love to get her take on. So,
okay.
And then we're gonna do some fun poll stuff. All right. If producer, can you bring up? Okay, hold on. Okay, Minnie St. Clair will get you in just a moment. We need to get a. Okay, let me just do this. I'm gonna do a new screen share. All right, so producer, if you can put up the screen share with myself and Dr. Tatch, I'd like to get her take on this story. So I'm. Okay, yes. So do you know about this story?
I can't really see it. Let me see if I can it's a little small for me, but let's see. Okay. Yes. Now I've heard about this, but I don't know the details.
Okay.
About the resignation.
I can read through it just a little bit. So
okay.
Headline says University of Virginia president resigns amid pressure from the 47 administration. University of Virginia President James Ryan announced his resignation. This is last Friday amid pressure from the U.S. Department of Justice to dismantle the university's diversity, equity, and inclusion programs. Ryan, who had been serving as the university's ninth president since 2018, said he is resigning, quote, with a heavy heart, unquote, in a letter to the university community, adding it was, quote, a crucially difficult decision, unquote. He cited the university's battle with the 47 administration and the fear of losing federal funding that would have far-reaching impacts. Quote, to make To make a long story short, I'm inclined to fight for what I believe in, and I believe deeply in this university, but I cannot make a unilateral decision to fight the federal government in order to save my own job, unquote. He said, quote, to do so would not only be quixotic, but appears selfish and self-centered to the hundreds of employees who would lose their jobs, the researchers who would lose their funding, and the hundreds of students who would lose financial aid or have their visas withheld. Thoughts? I could read further. Does that give you enough context?
No. This is more than enough context. I'm taking a pause
Okay.
so I don't say something.
Okay.
that this is bigger than the University of Virginia. This is bigger than just universities. This is a commentary on the unilateral dismantling of institutions in American society that further the populace's mind, right? Further the thought process, educate. I don't know how many times people want to, well, again, it's the uneducated he's speaking to, so they're not going to know. He said, I love the poorly educated. Did you think it was a joke? See, the thing is, when you look at these things, he says it, and it's not even him doing it. There's a whole row of demons behind him that are implementing these things. He's just the figurehead, the one dumb enough that they can mold and control. And so this is nobody's keep mentioning Project 2025. This is exactly part of what's in there. So it's about dismantling these structures that actually make, let's say it in lay terms, the public smart. And that's what this is about. So now bringing it back to the university level, this is a state school. They get an awful lot of government funding, like a lot of universities do, because past administrations, even if they didn't really, they at least faked the funk that they were interested in the furthering of education, higher ed for Americans. It's difficult because, again, you're university president and you're looking to, all right, I don't want to bow to this pressure, but I don't also want what happened to Harvard and this whole entanglement of litigation. And simply, the University of Virginia doesn't have the resources. And I'm guessing, and I probably know for sure, that they don't have the same resources that Harvard has to fight something like this. So rather than go into a fight with a war with a knife, he said, you know what? I'm just going to step down. But so then the question becomes, then what? Does the board then bow to the pressure and they put in somebody completely unqualified like they did at FAMU?
Yeah.
Because she's, listen, alum are upset. People are upset. I know faculty and staff are upset. And you'd think if it didn't happen at an HBCU that it won't happen at some of these other universities.
Yeah.
Of course. That was just a test, if you ask me. That was just a test. And so going after because FAMU is a state school as well. So going after these state schools where they've got these governors in their pockets, like DeClantis, this is where it starts. So it's really sad. It's a sad commentary.
Okay. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Okay, getting back, Minnie on top. Minnie, won't forget your comment. We're going to put it up here. My topic shakes up in the poverty reduction charities agenda. Excuse me. It has been rejected in the past, so using platforms and create a brand message is helping the people, not servicing shareholders. Kevin says only 3.5 years left of this mandate, or less than that for midterms. Well, they're getting their stuff done real quick. I know they're pushing through their bill, wanting to get this big, beautiful bill. The ladies on Saturday, especially Lala, called it a different B at the end, but you have to watch the show to check that out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It-
so we can come off that. We can come on. Sorry, I
yeah.
really wanted. I thought there's no better person to get a commentary on that than Dr. Tachi. So
Well, can I say this? If nothing, listen, if the victory, smaller victories around the country, but the one big, very visible victory is Soran Kwame Mamdani winning the primary for mayor
New
in New
York.
York City. Yes, in New York City.
That's caused a lot of turbulence.
It has caused a lot of turbulence, and not just by the degenerates that we knew it was going to cause turbulence with, but also amongst career Democrats.
Yes.
So his win shows that people are tired of the same old, same old. They're tired of the establishment Democrats who are there for the, you know who I call them?
Yes.
Methuselah, Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego, who have been there for donkey years doing absolutely nothing just to have a job. And do you need, at this point, if you haven't planned for your future and you're like 80 something years old, you need to find another plan. And it's not to continue to stay in office ad nauseum. People are tired. We're tired of you. And so that really is a turnaround for the fact that people are tired. So I say that to say that we're going to see more of the, and this is why people are scared. While people are watching Bezos on the yacht and people flying in do you think we care about that? It's so tone deaf. And the fact that mainstream media really grasped onto, do you think we care about that? We don't give two damns about that. There are other more pressing things. People are being snatched. And this is what you're showing us. Okay. But the reason I brought that up is because honestly, it's going to have to be a movement from grassroots when it comes to educate higher ed that moves it, because it's not going to be the boards. They're too scared. It's not going to be these university presidents. Not that they're scared, but they may not have the resources to fight demons like this. And so it's going to have to come from the students. They're the ones, because faculty and staff, they could be angry, but there's probably very little that they can do. So it's going to have to be students. You know what? That's fine. I'm not coming here. To the demise of the university, but that's really what it takes. This is where we are now. This is where we are. The only ones I will stand up for are the HBCUs, but everybody else, listen, you've had and community colleges, right? And community colleges. So I'll stand up for them too, because it gives education to those who might not have a way. And it's also a feeder program to four-year universities, which I that's what I love the community college system for. And they also offer things that aren't always offered at the four-year universities, So I think that it's going to have to be a movement, honestly, from the people. It may sound cliche, but you're going to have to, okay, we're not. It's going to have to be, it's not going to be from big donors either, but from the donors that are doing the right thing. You're going to have to say, oh, okay, no, then we're not. We're not doing this. If you're not going to try, we're not.
Wow. Campuses are going to be very interesting in September.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Which is why those of you that are, my colleagues and things that are still full-time academia, I'm just going to say you need to be considering what else. Because just like we don't have, what is it? The buggy, horse and buggy, the people that drive, buggy drivers, we don't have those anymore. It could be very easy for us not to have as many faculty because we have less universities. So you need to say what else, and universities need to start teaching what else for people that are going after PhDs. Up until this point, universities and colleges have been using graduate programs as money makers, also undergraduate programs, but they've been using particularly master's and PhD programs as money makers because, especially with doctoral programs, you need to tell them what else, because the only thing and it is specialized, but the only thing you're trained to do is that, and that's fine. That's fine, but not in a changing world. So we need to say what else. Well, just saying.
Ah, nonstop, nonstop, nonstop today, nonstop. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of stuff going on. Well, and how is it in Florida these days? Where if you really do pay any attention?
Well, what do you mean? You mean socially,
Yeah.
politically? Well, there's a lot of things going on, and usually when our good friends, well, Lala and also Ray McMillan, they're in the real estate space, and so just like around the country, you see real estate. It's really a buyer's market now.
Mm-hmm.
And so what does that mean for people that are, have a home that they're trying to sell? There's a lot of inventory, but not a lot of bite, right? So lots of fish in the water, but not lots are biting. So what does that mean if you're like, you know what, I'm tired, I'm trying to get out of here. This political thing is too crazy. This governor is too crazy. Let me leave. Well, you may not be able to very quickly because of the way the market is. And particularly in Florida, because we had a lot of people that relocated here during the pandemic because it's like, okay, if I'm going to be stuck inside, at least let me be where it's warm. At least let me be where I can have some space, And so they moved from cities like New York, Chicago, etc. Even some from California, right? A lot of them went to Texas, but some came here as well. And so there was a big influx, but there started to be an exodus as well because of the political situation, um, the social situation. People think, oh, in terms of the social situation here, there are great things to do and a lot of things to do. The weather is always great, but it's not a New York. Let's not kid ourselves and act like it is. So people that are New Yorkers that were looking for that New York experience, it's simply not here to the extent that it is there. And so people are like, yeah, I'm going back or I'm leaving. But what if you want to go back and now you've bought something? What do you do? And then there's this whole thing with the condo. Maybe you came down and you bought a condo, but now you're going to have a hard time selling it because we have these laws now, the Surfside condo laws, because of that collapse in 2019, I believe it was. So because of that, now you can't sell your condo. So I'm trying to bring in what the climate is like. So the real estate, politics, all of that has a lot to do with each other more than what we think. So that's what we're thinking. But I don't know if you were talking about more so politically.
No, 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 no. We talk too much about the political. There is life outside of
Yeah,
political.
we're done. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're done with that. We're
All
done.
right, I'm gonna actually so we're gonna do a poll with our audience. So if we go to
Ooh.
we got a poll, and this is for people who are watching on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel. So if we can get the screen share up and we got a poll coming up here, and let's see. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna do the screen share. No, wrong one. Wrong one. This is okay. Myself and my producer are not aligned today. So what I got to do first is we're doing a screen share. All right. So let's put this up. So we got a screen share up. So if you are on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel, want to know, simple question for you to answer. What sort of energy are you bringing today? What sort of mood are you bringing today? 1, ready to win. 2, looking for inspiration. 3, here for the community. Or 4, taking it slow. All right. We got votes coming in already. Love it. Love it. Love it. So out of those this morning, Dr. Tachi, on the Monday, which one of those 4 describe you today on this Monday morning?
Do we have to just pick one? I mean, according to this, I think we do. I'm definitely ready to win. Definitely ready to win. But today, well, it wasn't really a slow morning because I had to come on for this, but I'm still after this. Going to take it a little bit easy today.
Good.
So both.
Good. We got that. We're looking for other people to vote. Want to get that interaction coming. All right, we got some more comments here. So, Artly Creative Agency gives a fist. Good to see you here. Matt says, producer Matt, I know my college just did a massive cut to their art programs. Yes, that's Sheridan. And even though it's a college aimed at the arts, Minnie St. Clair says, I think it has to do with them raising the financial requirements for international students, talking about that story for University of Virginia. I don't know about that. Then producer Matt goes, oh yeah, absolutely, Minnie St. Clair. I've already seen a big raise in my tuition costs because they have put more restrictions to international students. Yeah, that they are really clamping down the international students, even up here. I wouldn't say clamping, they're making it more expensive for them to attend. Go ahead, Dr. Tachi.
Well, here's the thing. Again, it's always been more expensive for
International students, yeah.
for international students. I remember it was super cheap when I was at the University of Buffalo, but international students, I think they were paying something like $17,000 a year, and that was a lot when I was an undergrad. I was like, wow, that's just it. So it seems, I know that there are costs associated with having that, and I don't know to what extent departments and universities are involved with the whole process. But so I understand there are costs. But to me, it just seems like, okay, remember, they're already paying to get here. You're not paying for them to come here. And by and large, international students give us this influx of knowledge and talent that we need. Let me just speak for the United States. We're not that bright.
Ha!
I'm just going to tell the truth. Anybody who's offended, I don't care. I don't care. On the whole, as a population, we are not that bright because we've never made education a main thing. Public pressure mandates that you have some sort of public education system, so you don't have a whole. And then the whole thing is you have to be able to compete. But now, because of your spite, you're like, okay, no international students or but international students are the ones who come and bring the pressure. Now, this is not to say individually that Americans are not smart, that we're not that bright. No, I'm saying as a whole, no. On the whole, we can't compete with other countries because we've never made that a big thing. And you could say, oh, well, education is not the main thing we need to be concerned about. Your AI? Who builds AI? Educated people, right? Not necessarily always college educated people, but people with some kind of knowledge, but you're willing to do away with all of it. And for that, we're dumb. So we're not that bright. Okay.
It was interesting out yesterday with relatives and two daughters, and one of them is it's at Dawson College in Montreal, and she's taking animation, and she was showing me her work and all that stuff. That's great, but I said, look, make sure you know AI and how you can apply it to what you're doing. So when you go out for clients, they don't know what AI is all about. You can use your AI talents to help create what they're looking for.
Yeah.
I don't know if she listened to me. I don't know and it's actually funny too, because we were discussing this and the waiter overheard this and he said, hey, you know what? I heard you talking about AI. Salesforce offers an incredible amount of free courses on AI on their website. And he offered that information to us. I said, hey, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. So really good stuff there. Let's go to comments. Minnie says, at Matt Duffy, I would be a domestic student. I just find it odd that I would pay $5,000 for a program. An international student would be paying 5 times that amount. Fitness IQ Cam says, Morning. Good to see you here.
Hey.
Fitness IQ Cam. Kevin says, domestic students have parents who paid into the tax base. Foreign students do not. Thus, the differential differential in fees. Remember, universities were free before the Civil Rights Act. You can thank Reagan.
So he's absolutely correct. They were free before the Civil Rights Act because they didn't want certain people to be able to have access to that. But the fact of having parents that pay into the tax base. So what we're saying though then is that every student looks the same or every student situation is the same, and that's simply not the case. And honestly, how much so okay, so there is federal money coming from that. I understand that, definitely. But I think that is less of a thing in terms of that, because if that were really the case, if that were really the case, then they wouldn't be trying to hawk other products in terms of sure you can do your PhD on underwater basket weaving. Okay, that's a product that they're trying to. So if that were the case, I could see this if they were not in the business of making money. I think we have to understand that colleges are businesses and they are
Yeah,
in the business of making money.
money.
So this is not just a purely practical thing. They're trying to make money because even if that were the case, if you looked at the amount of people that pay into the university system that may not have parents that are from there, from here, probably they make more than enough. It's minuscule compared to the value that comes out. Because here's the thing: the students who come here, they often apply for residency and they often get jobs here. So they're paying into the tax. So they're paying it back. If we look at it truthfully, they are paying it back. Not everybody. A lot of people get educated and go back, but then Americans do that as well. How many Americans do you know that go to universities abroad, in Canada, in Mexico, go to medical school in the Caribbean, and then they leave and come back here? So, are we going to talk about that?
That's a good question. I'm not familiar. Maybe you know more. How many Americans go outside of America for education?
This is a good question. I don't have the exact numbers. I would need to look that up. Um, Obviously, it's expensive to go abroad,
Yes.
but it goes both ways. It's expensive to go abroad, come abroad to come here,
Right.
right?
Right.
Um, so I don't know. It's not like the numbers are equal to the numbers that stay home and or domestically in the US and go to school. I'm not saying that, but I would posit that it could be about equal in terms of those who go abroad and those who come here. And remember, often Americans have more resources monetarily than
Mm-hmm.
those coming here.
Mm-hmm. 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 Absolutely. Minnie St. Clair says the e-learning industry has become $1 billion industry.
Yes. Yes. I'm glad she said that because this is another thing that they need to look at. Instead of Cowtown, because not even we, are thinking with an antiquated 1865 model of everybody must be in a seat in a classroom in order to learn. Now, we could do it virtually. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened there, but
Before you're good. You're good. Go ahead.
we could do it virtually. You don't have to physically be in a classroom. So I want to see what they're going to say about international students when it's like, okay, well, our university is doing this virtually. It's of no cost to us, basically, for that to happen.
I actually good conversation point for you as an educator. What how much of a disruption did the pandemic do to the educational system, not only during it, but post for years to come as an educator? What do you see as the wide range, the macro impacts of the pandemic on especially the secondary educational system?
People were forced to, let's say, universities and colleges were forced to make online education a reality. There were so many that before the pandemic, they may have had a course or two and they weren't serious about it. But this mandated that we have to get serious about it. So that was the biggest thing that I saw. University departments had to, or universities in general, had to really beef up uh, their tech, info and tech departments to be able to handle this. I had always taught online. In fact, when I got my PhD in 2005, and I was taking class, I was part of a program called Preparing Future Faculty, where you teach courses and you have these seminars and such, and they're preparing you to be in the college classroom. So one of the classes I had to take was called Teaching in the Online Environment. So this is like an '04 that I had to do. Was it '04 or '03? One of those that I had to do that. So you
Mhm.
see how long ago that was, and online education still wasn't a thing. Then I came to when I moved here, I was at a university where online was a big part of what they did. Even back then, that was always a part of what they did. So there were some universities that already had hybrid, but this really forced universities to beef up their online offerings because this was the thing. And then also the fact that after a while, yeah, some people were going to want to come back, but those people that were already working professionals, if I don't have to sit in a classroom after work and I can just come home and do what I need to do, even if it's asynchronous, meaning we have class live, then that's what I want to do. So they really have had to change their approach to how people get educated. And it's not always just a body in a seat.
How has it impacted students?
So let me say this nicely.
Oh, wow.
So
Okay.
I know, well, this is the thing. Let me take it from two points of view. From the point of view of the students, but also from the parents who wish this for them. There were so many students who, during the pandemic, did not have the opportunity to graduate in person, or they had to do their entire, the pandemic happened in their sophomore year, and so their junior and senior year was like completely online, right? So they may have missed out on experiences because of that. I know. I'll let me take this way. So one experience may have been the opportunity to participate in campus activities, but I'm talking specifically about fraternities and sororities, right? So I know what we did during the pandemic is we could not have contact with each other. But I have, like, one of my besties, she went through the process online
Mm.
because what we decided to do, and I'm not speaking for the leadership, but it appears that what we decided to do was that it was important to continue to thrive and grow in preparation for when this was not the time anymore, rather than to, because you don't know when it was going to let up, rather than to have a complete moratorium. Our leadership decided to have a process like that. So that may have been different for for some people, right? Be able to do these types of things online for the collegiates, because we had alumni, but we also had collegiates. So that's one thing that was affected. The fact that the access to different activities, and then the access that you had. I mean, you still had the same access to professors, etc., but it was timed now, right? So rather than let me just go by this person's office and see if they're there and they may be there, you really have to make an appointment. So it's not just a free for all, which kind of teaches them restraint, which is good. But so that's one thing. But on the other end of it, I think it was over sensationalized, the effect and I'm not trying to downplay anybody's experience with this because everybody's experience is different. But it, I think it's over sensationalized because parents wanted to see graduations. Parents wanted to see the prom and stuff. And even though it was a big deal for the students, I think parents made it an even bigger deal. Oh, well, you know how many people don't go to their graduations? And again, not a commentary on whether you go or not. But the point is, you got what you came for. You got your degree. So to make it about all this other minutia really conflates the issues. So I think that's those are some of the things that came out of this, how it's changed for students in terms of access to professors and staff, access to activities, and then I think also professors and staff also knowing how to behave in certain situations because you're not there to understand and learn and see the context cues. So learning how to behave in certain situations, I think, is something that was also lost. So that's a mishmash of stuff, but yeah.
I also want to say a big shout out for people who are watching live on Substack. So
Hey,
thank
Substackers.
Yeah, we got some Substack people watching, so thank you so much. Got to catch up on some comments. So Minnie St. Clair says, if it was all about educating people into a skill, we would all be in the trades or apprenticeships programs like in the 1800s. Uh, Good morning, the Macmillan Group. She says it is less expensive to go abroad for U.S. medical students than to stay in the U.S. to when you factor in the cost of board, lodging, etc.
It's
Hence
true.
the industry of medical schools that have birthed. Minnie St. Clair says my mother went through it with her upskilling in nursing. Too many hybrid models. She doesn't like using the computer, so it's been a lot of adjusting to both of her and her calling me for tech help. There you go. She also says the Macmillan Group. Minnie St. Clair says mortgages and yes, it is. Yes, that is how my younger sister became a chiropractor. She went to the U.S. for her education and won a lot of academic awards. Okay. Also, she says, then my baby brother went into the trades to be a plumber. Producer Matt says, for a government that boasts about making America great again, you would think education and medical care would be at the top of their list of things to improve. Minnie says her and her brother are 18 years apart. Macmillan Group says, I never walked that stage. Wasn't important to me. I was actually on a plane the day after my last exam for my undergrad to see the world. There you go.
And see, that's exactly the thing. I think we make it as a society, we make those things important. Not that they're not. The milestones are very important, especially for some people that need those as markers as of accomplishment. But as I was saying, the accomplishment is the fact that you got the degree, that you had the wherewithal to go through 4 or 5 or 6 years or however many years of undergrad it took, or grad school it took you to get there. That is the real prize. And I think what we're doing is we're confusing what the value is here. It's like marriages, right? So many people spend hundreds of thousands sometimes of dollars on weddings. Well, are you interested in a party or are you interested in a marriage? There's a difference between the two. And I kind of liken that to the whole process between getting your degree and then celebrating that you got it. You could do a small party. You don't have to walk. I did, but you don't have to.
Good stuff. Good stuff. You're watching Mix It Up Mondays on the Morning Vibes, hanging out with Dr. Tachi and her lovely hat, her lovely glasses, and a beautiful blue blouse.
I wore this just for you, Dr. Vibe. I wore this just for you.
Oh, come on now. That's crazy. What's been going on in the world of indie soup media?
So we are on break right now, which I
Right.
am so thankful for. Listen, I am
About time.
tired.
About time.
So I am we've been on a break. We're on a 2-week break and we resume hopefully July 7th. So after the so-called holiday, we will resume broadcasting. And so we've got some new creators that will be joining us.
Nice.
There's just a lot of new things that are coming down the pipeline that I will share, at
And
point,
at
but
the
just
right
a
time.
lot of things. Yeah. So that's what's happening. People discovering indie soup, which is a great thing. So, yeah.
What Wow. What is the next step in you for your vision when it comes to Indie Soup Media?
Oh, partnerships. So brand partnerships and sponsorships, but also partnerships to get the content shown in different places.
Mm,
So that's really what I'm looking for because that will also give exposure to all the creators, which is what the thing is for me. So an exposure leads to monetization for them. So
100%. 100%. Uh, hmm. There's so many areas I could take this to. Okay.
well, take it.
Okay. We're at half year of 2025, and people not really making up, but the year's going by fast. And what are you seeing in the world of content creation so far this year? Has anything changed, or is it just same old, same old?
This is interesting. AI has changed content creation. I'm just going to be honest and say that it really has changed the way we create things with the fact of, okay, not only let's take a chat GPT. There's so many other generative AI platforms, but let's just go with chat GPT because that's the one that usually comes to mind. You can before, right? Not too long ago, you could use that to help you come up with captions for your social media content, right? The content that you were going to put up on social media. Now, not only can you do that, you can create the image that you want to use, right? And you don't even have to just limit it to ChatGPT. If you're creating things inside Canva, they've got their own now Canva AI inside there where you can really.
Is that for the free plan or for the paid?
That's a good question. I have the paid plan, so I let me look into that. I know the paid plan has access to it,
Yes.
but hopefully the free plan has a little bit, maybe just less, but hopefully they have access because I think it's very useful to have an all-in-one, right? Where you're
Yeah.
already using Canva and now you can use some of these AI tools. They've added so many apps. AI, if you go into Canva and look at apps, there are so many AI
Yeah.
apps that are in there. So that has really changed the game with content creation. I think here's the thing. It still needs the human touch to make it your own. If you leave it as AI spits it out, it's going to AI made this. You need to really take the time to also make it your own and train AI on the things that you want to see and like so that it makes it closer to what you like, right? So that's one big thing in terms of content creation
Yeah.
that it's really been AI.
I think my suggestion to people out there, if you're going to do anything really well with AI, master your prompts.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes.
Ma-
Oh,
oh, go ahead.
speaking of which, I'm going to send you. I have a thing from HubSpot and is it MindSpring? I can't remember, but I have a download that I got that is 1,000 plus prompts. I will send it to you.
Okay, so hold that thought. We're going to catch up on comments. Uh,
Okay.
Fitness IQ Cam says the year is going way too fast. Kevin says you can have thousands of debt and go to university to compete for jobs in industries affected by AI or learn a trade. Have no debt and be in demand. Ask a plumber. So Minnie says that she uses Canva AI for free. So maybe it is for free. The free plan gives you credits to generate images,
Okay.
which was in my research. So with those credits, is that daily credits? I'd like to know.
Yeah, I'd
Uh,
like to know that too when it refreshes.
yeah. So and she says, and ChatGPT will write the descriptive words for other AI prompts.
You can ask it.
Yeah, you have the quality assurance with AI to get the quality. And then the Macmillan Group goes paid plan, Dr. Vibe, and it's worth it. So it sounds like there's some availability free, but Ray's going on the pay plan. But I'm going to send you something, Dr. Tachi, that OMG in regards to prompts for YouTube.
Oh, send it. We'll do an exchange.
We're going to do an exchange. It is epic.
Wonderful.
Epic. And the video is only about 13, 14 minutes long.
Oh, okay.
And it gives
Awesome.
a whole series of YouTube prompts for YouTube it's taken what I do on YouTube to the next level.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Sorry. No. Sorry. No. Wonderful. I can't wait to get that. I wanted to respond to Kevin because he's correct. There's I have this cognitive dissonance since I am an academic and a professor, but I'm also a practitioner.
Yeah.
And so he is 100% correct in terms of you can learn a trade, have no debt, be in demand. Absolutely. That's plumbers, electricians, all these skilled trades. I 100% agree. I will say this though, there needs to be a marrying of the knowledge of business with actually having those trades. The next time I ask somebody who is fixing this what forms of payment they accept and they say Cash App, I'm done. And that's all they accept. There needs to be more business acumen. And that's not something that is taught in trade school. They probably need to do it, but they don't. I mean, even in college, sometimes you don't get business acumen, but there's more of if you're in a business program, more of a mindset for understanding business and all the business related things. I've come across too many people who are in the skilled trades who don't know how to do these things.
Yeah, it's a good point you're making there, because a few years ago I had some it's an organization called the Walnut Foundation out of here, the Greater Toronto area, and they are very much advocating for prostate cancer in Black men. And 2 years ago, they had 2 trades union people who were spokespeople for their organization. And the thing is, tradespeople know how to do their stuff, but when it comes to budgeting, financing, there's a loop there where AI could probably help them in regards to this, that, other thing. Yes, it's good to do the trade, but there's still areas where you can use AI to help what you're doing either personally or professionally better. So we got comments here. Minnie says, I'm wondering how Dr. Tachi got her camera picture to be so smooth. And for people who I'm looking a little pixely, I'm still trying to figure out with this platform how I can get, like, at the beginning, my picture was good. Now it's gone downhill. My apologies.
It may be a connection thing. I think it's a connection thing more so than your camera.
I know it's not my camera, but the thing is, like, for the first number of minutes of our live show today, it was good reception. Now it's sort of pixelated. I'm going,
yeah.
But I always go back to the Dr. Tachi thought process. No platform's going to give you everything. So it's a trade-off between platforms, but you can hear me and you can somewhat see me. That's okay. So how do you get your picture to be so smooth, Dr. Tachi?
It's my camera. So light, it's a combination of things. Lighting. I have a window in front of me, which you can probably see because I like the light, but I also have 2 LED panel lights, 45 degrees on either side of me. The background wasn't that important to me today, so I didn't light it up and close things because it's daytime. I'm like, whatever. And then my camera, I use the Panasonic Lumix. Don't get me to lying. It is the S52X. Excuse me.
You okay?
Panasonic. Yeah, I'm good. Okay. Panasonic Lumix S52X. So it's a professional camera, and then more than the camera body, it's also the lens. So I've got a really good lens on here as well. So this is what you're seeing, the fact that I invested in the camera.
Yeah, that's my next big investment. I think that'd be my last big investment when it comes to live streams, is really buying a really good camera. So I'll be leaning into in regards to,
Okay.
a good camera piece. So Minnie says, and the AI content creation prompt in YouTube is very interesting. Okay. And also says
Mm.
business education is missing in many professions. It is also missing with lawyers, doctors, and nurses too. Let's see. We also have, if they have business classes in those programs, they would know how to market and sell to private clients. Okay. And then we have, it's also the lighting.
Mhm.
And actually, maybe I'm going to start by using more lighting, because I'm going to take your suggestion. I'm going to set up another light for my broadcasting. Well, I look okay. I got to figure out the connection thing. And then also Minnie says the 3-point lighting setup. Oh, so she learned something today. She goes, oh, all right. Oh, all right. We're going to probably be on for another 5 to 10 more minutes max. But so I'm going to put up
Yeah.
another poll. So if we can get the shared screen up. All right. So let's take a look at this poll. And what's been your biggest motivation this year? Family, career, faith, or community? If you're watching live on my YouTube channel, choose one number wise and hit enter. We'd be interested. So Dr. Tachi, what's been it for you?
I can't choose one. I can't choose one because it's all of them, honestly.
Okay.
It's honestly all of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I really quickly to say something to what Minnie was saying about business, what and other professions? 100% doctors and nurses, lawyers often have zero business acumen. But here's why that doesn't matter: because they're doctors, lawyers, nurses, and people put them on a pedestal. So even if they're terrible business people, nobody cares. They care when it's a plumber. They care when it's an electrician.
Yeah.
So that's where the difference is with that. It's the same thing, but the difference is how we regard these people in society. And let's be honest, we don't see the trades on the same level as we see those other professions.
100%.
They've been put on a pedestal, so they don't have to have that knowledge. And they're terrible. Bedside manner, communication, awful. But because of who they are, they get a pass.
Yeah. So Dr. Chachi, I was telling you about this video I'm going to share with you.
Okay.
That part of this video helped me with now putting these questions to live audience.
Oh.
Yeah. So
wow.
Yeah, in fact, I'll say that. I'll take it offline. Either today or tomorrow, we need to get back online. We need to catch up on some things, but I want to share some of this video with you. You're going to go, wow. Wow.
Okay.
It's such a, it's one of those, and the wonderful thing is it's not long, but it's so power packed on using, especially Chat GPT, using it and getting the most out of it, especially if you're a YouTube content creator. It's a huge game changer.
I can't wait.
Huge game changer. So one says community, one says career, another says family. All right, cool. Yeah, I'm using AI to generate polls and questions and things like that, and so many different things. Okay, let's take off that poll if we can, producer. And yeah. So are you, well, here's another question I have for you. Are you
Yes.
I think I know this question, answer this question, but I'm not going to make assumptions. Do you at all celebrate the 4th of July?
Your assumption is probably correct. But it brings me, if you're talking about if somebody is having a barbecue, do I go? Yes, because I'm going to have fellowship and camaraderie with them. Do I care about the 4th of July? I do not. How are you, again, you go back to Frederick Douglass's poem, What to the Slave is the 4th of July? And I'm not saying I'm enslaved, but Why is that important to people if you've been mistreated by your country and you're not truly free? To be honest, in this country,
Mm,
nobody should be celebrating July 4th because we're not free at this current juncture. So listen, July 4th is going to take on a whole new meaning. So I'm waiting to see what the PBSs and all of this do, if they still go on with they probably will, but it takes on a whole new meaning. Are you really free? That's what this is a celebration of. So I've never really celebrated it as, oh, it means this, because not for me, it doesn't. But if
mm.
somebody invites me over, yeah, I'll go. But we're not talking about the 4th of July. I'll say that.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. That is great. What are your plans for the summer?
Well, it's summer here all year long in Florida.
Thanks for the
It
shot. I set myself up for that. Yes.
You did. So, really, I have some personal things like, okay, I need to redo the roof on this house. It's not really time yet, but I want to do it before it's time. It is now really, it's not the heart of hurricane season, but June 1st is the beginning of hurricane season, Atlantic hurricane season. We generally don't see disturbances though until like maybe August, September. So trying to get stuff ready for that. I've already got hurricane windows and stuff. I said, let me just, see about doing a proper roof. Um, so
Yeah.
things like that. That's what the summer is really good for getting all these other things that you don't think about because you're running this, you're doing that. That's what it's good for. And so that's probably what I'm going to be doing a lot of. And then, also beefing stuff up for indie soup. So
Great. So let's see. Minnie St. Clair. Oh, Fitness IQ says, yeah, I can't wait either to hear Dr. Vibe. Oh, you're talking about the prompt thing. We'll see. We'll see about that. Minnie St. Clair says it is summer in Florida until it's hurricane season. Don't
and
know.
then it's still summer with hurricanes.
Yes. And then Food Plane, you're late. But we say hello. Hello to Dr.
Hey,
Vibe
food
and
plane.
Dr. Tachi, the Food Plane. Food Plane, I'm gonna throw it out. We'd love you to come on the show one day. You do an incredible job with questions and all that. Would love you to come on and do some food, talk about some food stuff. Actually,
That would be awesome.
I know he creates foods. I put a suggestion out there. Maybe you should do a live stream of doing one of your creations, Food Plane. Just a thought.
Well, he already has a great video series
Oh,
called The Food Plane
okay.
on YouTube.
I haven't seen it. I have to be honest. I haven't gone into it yet. But is any of the content him actually doing a creation in real, like either pre-recorded or in real time?
Yeah. It's all pre-recorded
Okay.
stuff, and it's him cooking. He visits different countries, which I'm guessing is why it's called the food plane. So he not
Hey.
physically visits, but visits through cooking the food. And so, but maybe
Okay.
one day it will be physical visits.
You know, it would be an interesting collaboration. I just put out my head, and who knows where it would go. Associate of mine named Ernest White II, who's known as Fly Brother.
Fly brother.
And Ernest he actually has a series on PBS. He has been to at least 50 countries around the world.
Oh, yeah. Well, I met him, right?
Yeah. You've met.
Yes.
We haven't had a formal introduction, and his parents he grew up in Florida. I think he was born in Florida.
Yes, I remember that.
That would be a very interesting. I don't know where it would go, but for them to just know each other, because he travels that's his business. Like he, what you call it, tourist bureaus from either cities or countries invite him and his crew to come over, film a few days, and then they put it up on the Fly Brothers show, which is distributed, hopefully still by PBS. And but that'd be cool. So Food Plane says, "You're so kind. Thank you, Doc. Thank you. Great idea." And says, "Thank you, guys. Yeah, we just want to see you win, man." And he goes, "Every week I show how to cook foods from around." Oh, okay. So just reinforcing what Dr. Tatch already shared. Okay, definitely gonna have to check you out. And tomorrow's Canada Day here, which Well,
Oh, is tomorrow Canada Day?
yeah, tomorrow's Canada Day. Tomorrow's Canada
Wow.
Day. So, and now most people will be taking a break. I love doing stuff on a vacation day because less distractions here because people vacation. But if I want to reach out to anyone in the US, I can get I don't have less distractions north of the border, so I can focus on that. But we'll be doing stuff. But maybe I'll see if I can make some time to watch some food playing episodes tomorrow.
Yeah, it's really great,
Okay.
very informative,
Okay.
and he's a great cook,
All right. Well, I
chef.
haven't met him. Yeah. Well, it sounds like he's a great person, first and foremost. We haven't verbally met,
Absolutely.
but that's another thing. I'm going to reach out to you, Fuble, and we at least have an offline conversation so I can get to know you better and see if there's anything I can serve you or assist you with in any possible way. He says, every week I show how to cook foods from around the world. I specialize in international cuisine. Very nice. And Fitness IQ Camp says, meh to Canada Day. So on that note, I think we'll call it a conversation. Thanks, Doc,
Yes.
for being on the first. And you know what's weird today? We're having so many technical issues today. I'm trying to click on some stuff. It's not. Oh, she goes. Fit Vance IQ Camp says, yeah, I'm just here to attend barbecue, perhaps. Oh,
Exactly, see? Exactly.
just I am having difficulty with so many things. Okay, there we go. All right. Things are just not. Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those days today, but let's do it this way. Let's do some homework. Please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. We're not in competition with Dr. Tachi because she's got 20 20 whatever thousands of so notification, yeah, all that. Subscribe to the doctor, so subscribe, hit the notification button. Also like the Dr. I Show on YouTube. I already said YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Join the Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe at the drvibeshow.com. Also, there's a link there to advertise your business product or service on our show. Email me. You got the email address. Dr. Tachi, Indie Soup Media. There is the link for YouTube. And there is the website link also. Dr. Tachi, contact information. Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. Then I also, again, put her YouTube stuff. The Indie Soup YouTube Media, all that stuff is all here.
FYI, my Facebook is private, so unless I know you, I'm not
Okay,
going to.
I
So,
will
but the Mediascope, the Facebook for Mediascope is open, so anybody can contact me there.
Okay. Getting a hold of Mr. Ryan Knight, who I'm going to chat with yesterday to see when he's coming back because people are asking. There is his website, there's his LinkedIn, and there is his email address, and it's Knight KN, not NI. All right, because people, and then with me, there's website, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Instagram, X, email, Substack, Blue Sky, and also you can watch replays of the Morning Vibe on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, Afro Caribbean Business Network, Facebook, Ryan Oneil Knight, YouTube. I think the platform's been a little wonky today. It's been a little I don't know. It just seems a little wonky today, but hey, this I know one thing. Even if I'm pixelated, you'll be able to hear this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller, get stronger. Block assumptions. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. If you're not making money, make history, but try to do both and make it better. And people, on Friday, Wayne Harris will be in the house. And then a week from today, I don't know, 2 weeks, no. We'll probably be doing another mix up Monday, maybe next Monday, but definitely Friday. Wayne Harris is in the house, and our goal is to run a smoother show for y'all. God bless. Peace well. Keep the faith while good. We'll chat with you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
This
this whole thing of using your business with plant-based products, don't you think your life should reflect that too?
Juke him, Carolyn, juke him. The family loves us here because they're saying Fitness IQ Can says put a wig on to get in.
God.
Oh my God.
Like the ideas are just coming fast and furious here this morning. What? Okay, look at this. Global Women Ambassador. Good morning. Look forward. Okay.